I hope this movie is good. There's a few things why I've been kind of hesitant to make a trailer reaction because there's so many negative people online that I see. And they're like, oh, if you don't like this new trailer or if you don't like the new Superman, then like you're not a real Superman fan. Like I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Okay, I am finally recording a reaction to the new Superman trailer. It's been forever, I know. It's been out for like 3 weeks. Every time I try to go watch it or record a reaction video, I just get tied up with work, get tied up with all kinds of stuff. I'm studying for a insanely big test for my job right now. Plus, I'm just busy with Stafford studio stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to jump in and watch this trailer reaction. For those of you who don't know, massive Superman fan. Massive's not even the word. He's been my favorite fictional character of all time. You know, I've got Superman stuff hanging around my office. Several years ago when the first Man of Steel movie came out, I did like this really crazy countdown series where like every day doing like 30 days until the Man of Steel came out, I would do like clips and YouTube videos. Like I'm telling you, I've been a Superman fan longer than most people who are fans now have been alive. So I'm saying all that to say that this character means so much to me in so many different ways. I even have, for my fraternity, I've got a Superman Sigma brand on my arm. So like, I hope this movie is good. There's a few things why I've been kind of hesitant to make a trailer reaction because there's so many negative people online that I see. And they're like, oh, if you don't like this new trailer or if you don't like the new Superman, then like you're not a real Superman fan. Like I can't stand that. I can't stand that. You know, they're like, if you hate the suit, then you're not a real Superman fan. I'm like, that's stupid. That's the stupidest thing I've heard. That's kind of like saying if you don't like Rey, the character Rey in the Star Wars sequels, if you don't like Rey, then you're not a Star Wars fan. Like, no, there's a ton of Star Wars fans that hated Rey. I didn't. I'm just saying, like, if you hated The Last Jedi, then you're not a Star Wars fan. Like, that's so stupid. Like, I can't stand people who deal in absolutes like that. Like, if you have to like this, and it feels like, honestly, before I even do this, it feels like there are so many people who have just jumped on this brand new DC rebranding. It feels like DC and James Gunn have just personally paid a lot of people to be like, this is the greatest thing ever. I'm like, just from the set photos and the suit photos, like, I'm not sold. I want this to be good, but I personally don't like the way it looks so far. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that this movie is incredible. If anybody wants this movie to succeed, it's me. I love Superman. I hope that this trailer is amazing. I will say that I'm really not sold on so many characters being in this first movie. It's like I want to see a Superman movie about Superman, and James Gunn is like, yeah, we're not doing everything to set up other movies. This is primarily about Superman. I'm like, well, then why do you have Guy Gardner? Why do you have Hawk Girl? Why do you have Mr. Terrific? I'm like, that's a stupid character, by the way. So anyways, for anybody watching this and you're like, you're not a real Superman fan, you know, if you don't like David Cornsweet as Superman, then you're not a real fan. I can't stand those people. Like, just go ahead and click off the video. I will say this, David Cornsweet looks like Superman. I think he's a good casting so far. I haven't seen him in this trailer. So I hope this trailer does good. I hope this blows my mind. I hope it does great. I hope my office is really dirty right now, my desk, but I do have my new Ninja Turtle sitting on my desk right now. Anyways, I just wanted to say that before I watch this. I'm not hoping this sucks. I hope it does good. What's confusing going into this, especially for people who are not DC fans or who haven't been following, it's like some things that happened before James Gunn took over are considered canon and some things aren't. Yeah, some things happened with the Snyderverse that are canon and some things aren't. And it's like, it's just confusing. I just want to start over, just start from scratch. And, you know, the Creature Commando show that's on HBO, like I watched one episode, I'm like, this is stupid. Like there may be people who are into those characters, but I'm not. Like it just seems like a really weird fresh start, because it's not a fresh start. It's like they're starting off with all these weird things. It'd be kind of like the MCU starting instead of with Iron Man, like it started with Guardians of the Galaxy. Granted, Guardians of the Galaxy was great. I loved that movie, but it's like, what if the MCU, the very first movie of the new MCU started out like halfway through Iron Man's journey, like 2 years into his journey? You'd be like, wait, I understand people don't want a Superman reboot, like they don't want to show an origin, but I kind of do. I think it's a beautiful origin story. I feel like that helps us feel like it's a brand new slate. That's the one thing, one of the many things about Man of Steel that I liked is it was a really fresh take on his origin story. And people are like, oh, we've seen it 100 times. I still want to see it. I could watch that origin story 500 times and I'm still going to love it. So like, I want to see it. And that's what kind of feels like this is confusing for people. It's like, even for me, I'm like, okay, so what's canon? What's not? Like the show Peacemaker is some of it's canon, some of it's not. And James Gunn is like, if we mention it, then it's canon. I'm like, it's just stupid. That's one thing I kind of have a hesitant approach and view on this new start of DC, because like they're starting with Guy Gardner, why Green Lantern. They picked an actor. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I know I'm gonna get roasted for it, but he's playing Hal Jordan. He's an older guy. He's like in his 40s or 50s. And then the guy John Pierre, I can't think of his name. Once again, don't kill me. The new guy they casted for Jon Stewart. He played in Rebel Ridge. Amazing cast. So it's kind of like the first Batman movie. They were gonna make him with the son, Damian Wayne. So it's like, it just doesn't make sense. I'll get into the trailer. I just want to say I'm hesitant going into this because it doesn't feel like a fresh start. I feel like there's a ton of characters already in here that just doesn't make sense. Like, why? I mean, maybe it may make sense. I don't know. It may be great. I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope this trailer's great. I want to love this trailer. I'm not a fan of the suit. I think it looks bulky. I think it looks like he's wearing a diaper. I think it looks like a cosplay outfit. It just doesn't look good. And it's not because of the red trunks either. Some people are like, oh, if you hate the red trunks, then, they say, oh, you're a Snyder bot if you hate this. Like, no, I'm not. I just want it to feel real. That's one thing about Man of Steel that I loved, is it felt real. It felt grounded. They took a character who was mystical and grand and, godlike, and they made it feel real. So it's kind of like, I'm very interested to see how this goes. I hope it's good. Last thing I'll say, not a fan of Crypto the dog. I understand a lot of people are. And there's people on TikTok and Instagram that are like, if you hate Crypto, then you're not a Superman fan. Like, I want to punch you in the throat. I want to punch you in the throat. That's like saying, if you don't like the Acolyte show, you're not a Star Wars fan. That's the dumbest I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'm tired of hearing that. Like, it's okay for me not to like something. And I'm not just approaching this from a negative view. I am a filmmaker. I have won awards for my color grading and editing. So I'm going to be watching that with that approach too, just looking at this, hoping that it's just good. I just want it to capture the hope, and because that's what Superman is. He's all about hope. I just want it to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer. I just want you to know I don't like the suit. I'm not a fan of Crypto the dog. Not a fan of Guy Gardner. I like Guy Gardner, the character, but Nathan Fillion is Guy Gardner, really? Anyways, here we go. I'm going to start the trailer. No one's probably even still watching this because the intro is crazy long, but here we go. Okay, looks like Superman's been through it, man. He's got taken down. Loving the Clark Kent vibes. Spitting out blood. Lois Lane, Clark Kent, I guess they know each other already. That's supposed to be the Kent farm? What the? Oh. Okay. I'm assuming this is Crypto coming to save him, his dog.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
That's a cool shot. Okay? I'm digging it. Oh, I love him, his legs. Great visuals. That's cool. Okay, that's a huge monster. Oh my god. So they know each other. That's dope. July 11th. Okay. Few things. Number one, the score is really cool. I don't care for the muffled 80s electric guitar sound. I wish they would have opened it up and had like a brighter, had added more treble to it. That's just me. Like the score, like the how everybody's like chanting Superman in the background. Looks really cool. I will say that inside the Daily Planet, this shot here kind of reminds me of like Superman Returns. It feels a little cheesy, kind of, which I understand that's comics. Like, don't hate me. I get it. They're going for a more colorful, and I get it. Superman is colorful. I get it. People forget that I love the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. Those are my favorite movies. Like, I love them. I'm feeling it. I'm just saying this gives off a vibe with Brandon Routh Superman, with Bryan Singer directed Superman Returns. It looks like it's got a retro feel to it, so the coloring's a little different. Looks like Lois and Clark already know each other. Maybe she's like in love with Superman, but doesn't know he's Clark. Really cool shot. Not sold on the farmhouse with Kent. It's different. I'm not hating on it. It's just not kind of how it looks like in the comics. So people want to say, oh, it's comic accurate. Like, this isn't comic accurate, which is okay. Not hating. The Kent farm, maybe that's not the Kent farm. He's holding somebody. Obviously, that's not Jonathan Kent. His dad would have died already, so I have no idea who that is. Hopefully, that's not the Kent farm. Like this shot here is pretty. I hate to say cinematic because that word's so overused, but I like the lens flare here. He's obviously hugging someone he knows. The whole thing of him whistling. I mean, some people may love Krypto. That's fine. Like, I didn't like BB-8 in the Star Wars sequels. That doesn't mean I hated the movies. I just didn't like that character. So, I don't know. The thought of a dog running around with a Superman cape, which I understand this is a fictional movie, but it's just my preference. We all have our own right to have our own views and our own opinions. My opinion is like, I don't want to see Krypto. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to see him. I don't care about it. But it is very cool. The coloring here, the ice is very cool. Obviously, Superman is battling somebody who's making him bleed. This shot here, I've seen some clips of this on TikTok. Very cool. This is such an awesome, like where he comes in right there, man. Like that's Superman. That's bad A for real. I'm loving it. Obviously, like that's a very cool shot. I know everyone was so against Zack Snyder using slow motion in Superman, but he's one of those characters you kind of have to use it. So I love it. Loving the slow motion there, and then it goes to full frame. So I love Nicholas Hoult, the idea of him playing a comic accurate Superman. I loved Man of Steel, hated Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Thought that was the absolute worst portrayal of Lex Luthor. I think everybody on the planet Earth probably agrees with that. I like the Luthor Corp logo. Looks really cool. Like how it has the two towers kind of joined together. Digging that. So far, I'm really liking the vibe. I really am. The only thing I'm just not sold on is the colors for the Daily Planet. It just feels a little like early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like this was filmed in the early 2000s. I'm still not hating it. Just saying. Lex Luthor here with a gun. Dude looks like he's about to mean some business. I love that. He's slowly becoming one of my new favorite actors. I'm really digging that. Not sure what this is. Superman about to take off. It looks like there's a bunch of people with cell phones or taking pictures of him. It is a pretty cool shot. I love the close-up of the red boots. He's busting out of something. This is really cool. This is probably my favorite part of the whole trailer. I haven't seen a lot of trailer reactions. I've been staying away from it. But this kid, and it looks like they're in another country, raising up a Superman flag. That is chef's kiss. Beautiful. Chef's kiss, beautiful. I'm still not sold on the new Superman logo. I understand it is kind of like taken from Kingdom Come. That doesn't mean I don't like it. It's growing on me. So that is an amazing shot. Him right here, just holding the post, calling for Superman. Like bro, that's dope. Very cool. I just don't know how I feel about this Superman suit. Like all these extra lines. It looks like the Captain America's first, well, not his first, but his final Captain America suit in the first Avenger. It's got all these random lines and padding. It just looks like it doesn't even fit him. You know, obviously some people are hating on Superman, throws a can, Superman, the idea of Superman coming into a bank or a monument or something, who knows? Obviously we don't know the story. I just don't know how I quite feel about Guy Gardner. That is the dumbest That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. That haircut, bro, you couldn't pick anybody else. James Gunn couldn't pick anybody else but Nathan Fillion. I like him as an actor, but not as a Green Lantern. So it looks like him and the team is coming through here. You got Hot Girl in the back. I mean, I love seeing the Green Lantern getting screen time. So I'm trying to not judge. Granted, you can't judge a movie based on a trailer because we've all seen incredible trailers and then have been let down with terrible movies. It's like trailers are way better than the movie. So, like I said, I'm excited for the movie. I think that's got to be the worst haircut in any. I mean, bruh, I'm just I'm not feeling it. That is tacky as hell. That is so dang tacky. It's a cool shot. I like the idea of a Green Lantern. It's just the look, like the design of it to me. Just I don't know. I'm sure that everybody out there's like, "Oh, this is the greatest Green Lantern ever." Like, shut up. Go play in traffic or something. Not apparently too, like the Mr. Terrific, Hot Girl, Guy Gardner have like very similar outfits. They're all like white and black. I don't know what all that's about. But I mean, I like the idea of Green Lantern. Like I'm sold. Like I want to see Green Lantern with Superman so freaking bad. Just not this idiot looking guy with this terrible haircut. He's like mid-50s. Nathan Fillion is freaking old. Why are they picking old actors to relaunch? Bro, that's like picking Thor, having someone who's mid-50s play Thor. I don't understand that. The dumbest stuff ever. But really cool. The CGI looks really good. Loving the shot of Hot Girl coming down. I thought that was awesome. CGI is looking pretty good. This crazy looking monster. Obviously, you see Superman here, kind of facing his breath. Who knows what that is? That's probably some made up James Gunn monster. It may be a DC monster that I'm not familiar with. Who knows? But I mean, I don't know. His Suicide Squad movie was not good. And I'm like, I just don't as a storyteller, as a video producer, it just wasn't good. I didn't like it. And this shot here, I am so interested because in the suit reveal, the first official photo, Superman is sitting there like putting on his boots with obviously Green Lantern and there's in the TV show Creature Commandos, there's like this. I've only watched one episode and I can't think of her name, but she's from Themyscira, so pretty much like an evil Wonder Woman and she's got these pink power rays. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. But to me, it's like, why in the world is Superman in an apartment building with Green Lantern and the lady from Themyscira battling in town over the city? Why is he just sitting there? I don't get it. Looks like she's pumping him up or whatever, but I don't know. I know it sounds like I'm being negative. I don't like coming into a relaunch of a franchise halfway through. Like, I've read some articles where James Gunn is like, "Yeah, the movie just jumps right into the action." Cool, I'm down for the action. But, like, I wanna know the story of why this Superman is Superman. That's what I loved about Henry Cavill, one of my favorite Superman, he's so good. When Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan helped write and produce that movie as well, but you could understand why he was that, and maybe they will. Maybe they'll talk about this in the movie, I don't know, but he's just sitting here chilling while there's so much going on around him, like, "What are you doing? That what are you doing?" Obviously, he is Clark Kent making out with Lois Lane, so she knows who he is. So they're in love. This is a cool looking robot. That may be the guy from Creature Commandos. I can't think. He's like the Nazi killer. I don't know. I haven't watched that show. First episode was stupid. I was like, I could find 100 things better to do with my time than watch. No one who cares about Creature Commandos. Like I want to see Superman. I don't want to see, a weasel. I don't want to see Polka Dot Man or whatever that is. I don't care. I don't want to see Peacemaker. I want to see Superman. This is the Iron Man and Captain America of DC. He is the most recognizable character of all time. And like I want it to be good. Like I want it to be good. Get this story right and then do a good Batman or Green Lantern movie and then I may be interested in Creature Commandos. But you can't relaunch a franchise and say, "We want you to care about all these random people first before we even put Superman out." I'm sorry. I just can't get behind it. So obviously he's holding on, loving this robot guy. That may be the robot from Creature Commandos. Who knows? Very cool shot of the Fortress of Solitude. I assume that's what that is. Love it. Don't no clue who this alien dude is. Maybe it looks like I don't know. We'll see. So like I said, Lex looks like he's going through it. I'm digging the feel. I really am. I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. Obviously, this is just a teaser trailer, and a lot of it is Clark or Kal-El in the snow calling Crypto. So I I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not a Crypto fan. Just not. And I have that right. You can hate something and still be a fan. Like that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I did not like the CGI in the Hobbit prequels. Like, I thought the CGI was tacky, but I love Lord of the Rings. Like, there's just things you can do. Or here's an example too. Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight with Christian Bale, Heath Ledger. It was amazing, okay? It's one of my favorite movies of all time. There's something in that movie that I hate. I cannot stand that they chose Maggie Gyllenhaal to play Rachel. I cannot stand, like, you could have picked, there's a billion other people that you could have picked, and you picked Maggie Gyllenhaal. Like, her acting in that movie was horrible. Could not stand it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and every time she comes on scene, I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. But Nicholas Hoult as Lex, I'm here for it. Let's go. I'm here for it. There's some really, really cool shots, some very cool cinematography. Here's that dude again, uh, hoping for, calling for Superman. Looks like he's doing some work. I'm down for it. And I guess the idea of like a little super puppy coming to save Superman, like, whatever. I don't know. I didn't grow up watching him. I didn't grow up loving it. So we'll see. But I mean, I guess it's cool. Doesn't even look like Crypto the dog. So yeah, it looks like they're fighting here in the middle of a football stadium or soccer stadium. Maybe that's who's giving Superman the work. I mean, a lot of people are saying that's Ultraman. So I don't know. The suit looks good in action. I will say that it looks a lot better in movement, in action, when it's got some sun and some shadows on it. David Cornsweet looks like Superman. Like, I'm down for that. Mr. Terrific, I think that has got to be the dumbest. That's comic accurate to a T. I still think it's stupid though. I mean, it's a cool shot here, and James Gunn has said he has a huge part to play in this movie. We'll see. I want this to work, but you have to understand, I'm 38 years old. I've been loving and watching Superman since I was like 4 years old. Like, legit. Like, he's my favorite character of all time. So like, I have a lot of hope and attachment to this character. I'm not just like these 16-year-old TikTokers that are like, "Oh, this is the best thing ever. If you don't love this, then you're a Snyderbot." Like, go swallow chlorine or something, bro. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I want to see something great, and this is great. I mean, it all looks good. It just seems like an odd way to start a new franchise. It seems very. What if the first Iron Man started, like I said earlier, in the middle of the second movie? Like, what if the Iron Man movie started and he's already Iron Man? No, but like, part of what makes that first Iron Man movie so good is the process of him becoming Iron Man. It's a clean slate. Nothing existed before Iron Man per se. Like, he was the first one, besides, Steve Rogers being the first Avenger. So there's just some elements in here that, that is a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot of them kissing and flying in the train station or whatever that looks like. Great shot. So, I mean, this shot at the end, probably my favorite shot of the whole trailer, him flying into the air. That is freaking dope as I don't know what. So, the only thing, and here, this shot here, like, why are you kissing a girl when there's a battle going on outside? I just don't get it. I don't get it. I remember when I watched the trailer for Man of Steel, bro, I remember where I was standing the day I watched it, where I was at, what I was wearing. That trailer freaking blew my socks off. This has some moments. I love that the Superman S is on the back of the cape. I love it. I don't understand. This is a movie about Superman, and there's other people out there fighting your battles. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. But we're all allowed and entitled to our own opinions, and if you love it, that's great. I think it's good. People are saying, "Oh, this has so many millions of views already." Just because a trailer has a lot of views doesn't mean it's going to be a good movie. You know what I'm saying? So, all that being said, this is a really long video. No one's probably going to watch it, but I want to start doing more reviews like this because I want this to succeed. It's hard to be excited about a movie when you see set photos and you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like, I remember when The Dark Knight Rises came out and there were some set photos and Anne Hathaway was in her Catwoman costume. I was like, oh my God, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Like, so we are allowed to love something but dislike the smaller parts of it. Just like some of you, if you have jobs, you probably love your job and there's pieces of it you don't like. Like, that's okay. Just because there's one small thing at your job you don't like doesn't mean you're going to quit. Just because I don't like Crypto or freaking Guy Gardner's haircut, stupidest haircut I've ever seen. Just because I don't like Crypto and just because I don't like Guy Gardner's appearance, even if it is comic accurate, I don't care. Or Mr. Terrific, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care to like it. So anyways, I will say, so out of a 10, as a massive Superman fan, I'll give this like, I'll give it like a 6.5, like a 6.5. I do think that there are some really cool shots. I like the anticipation of it coming straight into a battle here, this first scene. Loving the look of Clark Kent walking through the crowd. I will say that this is probably one of the first iterations we've seen of Clark Kent that he actually looks different than Superman. Other than Christopher Reeve, he's the GOAT. But I do like this shot of him. It is a good vibe. There's a lot of good close-ups in this picture, in this trailer, so I'm really enjoying it. 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna wait for the other trailers to come out as well. I tried not to go into this with negative opinions. I wanted it to be positive. Even before this started, I said, like, I want this to succeed. I want this new franchise to work. Like, I'm tired of seeing, D-list Marvel characters getting their own TV shows, and Superman doesn't even have his own movie. Like, bruh, this is not it. So, even though I'm not sold on this, maybe, obviously they have stories in mind. Obviously, they're going somewhere with this. So I just hope that they get the other characters right. Like, do a good Batman, do a good Martian Manhunter. For the love, please pick a good Flash. Ezra Miller as Flash, horrible. Hated him as Flash. Please pick a good Flash. Pick a good Aquaman. Loved Jason Momoa. But pick a good Aquaman. Like, we want to see this just like the Avengers were. And what made the Avengers good is they introduced the key players in individual films leading up. They all had their own origin stories, which I get. Superman's origin story has been told probably 20 times on film, but it's still amazing. Like, so why not tell it again? Like, you're saying that half of the DC universe exists before this movie, but then half of it doesn't. That's what's confusing. I feel like they should have wiped everything. Everything before this is non-canon. Like Blue Beetle is Heat. Well, what happened with that movie? You know what I'm saying? Shazam. Like, everything is just weird. There's like so many loopholes. I wish they would have just wiped everything and say, this first movie sets the bar and is canon, and everything else before it is not. So I'm trying not to be negative. It's just, I just am not thrilled on how they're doing it. How we're gonna launch Creature Commandos. We're gonna have, Clayface movie. We're like, they're doing all these random things. It's like, focus on the major three, man. Focus on Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman. Give us a really good. I don't understand why they're skipping over Hal Jordan. It's Hal Jordan. Like, I understand they're trying to give Guy Gardner. I love it. So I'm excited for it, but part of this feels like I'm watching a Shazam trailer. Part of it feels like I'm watching a Black Adam trailer. Like, some of the coloring is consistent, and the color tones are consistent with like some of the cheesier DC projects, but I'm hoping this is good. So I'm going to sign out. Next one will be a lot shorter. I know I talked for a lot, but I want y'all to understand that, like, I'm not just some random person who is in the mid-30s that is just like, I'm just gonna make a trailer. Like, no, I freaking love this character. I love everything about it. I'm obsessed with Superman, and I just want it to be a good iteration. Like, this is our chance. Us DC fans, we've been sitting in the back for years watching Marvel do all of these amazing things with their characters and the film, and then we get terrible movies like Shazam 2. I'm like, I didn't even watch that. It's the dumbest thing ever. So it's time for us to get the characters that we love some serious screen time. And you know what? I understand there may be a few small things about this trailer I don't like, but overall it's pretty good. David Cornsweet looks solid. Lex Luthor looks solid. Once again, I'm not really sold on the person. I can't think of the lady's name. Just because I don't have it in front of me. The person they cast as Lois Lane, she looks a little Lois Lane-ish. But we'll see, man. I want this to be good. I hope that I'm so wrong about this movie. I hope that it blows all expectations out of the water. I hope that this can attract a new generation of DC hero fans and Superman fans. Like, I really, really hope so. So I'm gonna go back and watch this a few more times over the next couple days, and let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, I'm a little old school. I hate to say that me being 38 is old school, but I want to see a good origin story. Like, they're probably getting all these characters, like Batman, they're starting when he's like halfway through his journey with his son Damian Wayne. Bro, give us that in 10 years. Like, give us a good Batman story first. Like, I want to see that. They are making a Supergirl movie, which Millie Alcott, in love with her. She's amazing. Celebrity crush for sure. But we'll see, man. Y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoyed this movie. And I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of haters in the comments that say, "Oh, you're so negative. You're so negative." Like, bro, I was rocking Superman outfits before you were born. So, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I've been a Superman fan through the highs and lows for sure. So I hope this movie does good. Thank y'all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm a fan. I'm not sold. I mean, the hype, the excitement isn't there. I think the excitement about there being a new Superman is there, but like I'm more excited for Stranger Things season 5 than I am with this. So we'll see. Have a good one. See y'all next time.